to discuss the homework of chapter 8. So because of that, in the final exam, we're going to cover chapter 8, 9, 10, 11, and also oligopoly and game theory. So basically, that's what we're going to cover in our final exam. So let me read the question to you, and I'll get someone to answer the question. So question 12. Just juice is a perfectly competitive long-run equilibrium. Okay, so this is a perfectly competitive market and is in equilibrium. Selling juice at a price of $5 per gallon. Okay, $5 per gallon. So this is a very good price. You know, at this point, we're gonna be envious of it because we have inflation. So everything, the price for everything is going up, and demand falls, and the price falls to $3 per gallon. Okay, so demand goes down, so price goes down to $3. Okay, and so at this new price, Just Juice produces 100 gallons at an AVC of $3 per gallon. So AVC is equal to $3, and 100 gallons is the production level. Okay. So, will Just Juice continue to produce juice in the short run? Okay. So陈希才, what will the firm do?陈希才, you should get someone with a book, right?
Yeah.
谢金佑. Okay. What will the firm do? Originally it's $5, right? And then it drops to $3. Okay, and now it is at AVC $3, and production level is 100 gallons. So what should the firm do? It should exit the market, continue to produce. Which one? Louder. You may speak Mandarin or even Taiwanese. What should the firm do? Zheng Yiling, what should the firm do? Okay, continue to produce. Why? Because the AVC is at $3, right? So whatever variable inputs that a firm put into it, it can get out of it. But except what? Excuse me? Except for fixed cost, okay? Because FC, right? Because the AVC is equal to $3 and the price is equal to $3, right? So for all the variable inputs, okay, for all the costs of variable inputs, the firm can get it back, but not fixed cost, okay? So because of that, if the firm stops producing, right, then the loss will be fixed cost. And if he produces at this level, the loss is also fixed cost, so it's the same, okay? So let's move on. So what if the AVC at 100 gallons of production was 3.25? Okay, so now it is 3.25. Okay, so 谢金佑, if it is this case, what should the firm do? Excuse me? Are you sure? The price is 3. AVC is 3.25. So what should the firm do? Exit the market. Exactly, exit the market. Okay. So explain your reasoning using a graph. You know, basically you really don't need a graph, but if you want to practice, that's fine. Okay, that's done. We are done with question 12. Question 13. In a perfectly competitive which market? Okay, so Zhang Zewei, what's widget? Excuse me?
不知道。
林玉祥, what's widget?
小零件。
Okay. Widget, not necessarily, small things, okay? And there's another word called gadget. Gadget. Gadget means sometimes, high-tech gadgets. Sometimes we say that. Okay, so again, it's little things, but okay. Anyway, so in a perfectly competitive which market, demand and short-run supply equal to Q is equal to 100 minus 2P and Q equal to 40 plus P. Okay, question 1. What is the short-run equilibrium price and quantity in the which market? Okay, so basically it's very simple. Just try to get supplies equal to demand, and then you can get to the question, get to the answer there. Sorry. So anyway, so Q is equal to 100 minus 2P, and then Q is equal to 40 plus P. Okay? I suppose everyone is good at solving this kind of question, so we have 40 plus P equal to 100 minus 2P. So we have 3P is equal to 60, so P is equal to 20, and then Q is equal to 60. Okay? So part A should be simple. Okay, part B. So for the firm perfect widgets, SRMC means short run marginal cost equal to average variable cost equal to 22. So SRMC is equal to, AVC equal to 22. Okay? So when Q is equal to 2, so what output will perfect widget produce in the short run? So, Chen Xizai, what's the answer to this question? So this is the equilibrium price and quantity, right? And this is the additional information we have. Short run marginal cost equal to AVC is equal to 22. So what should the firm do? Chen Xizai. Why? Are you sure? What does this mean? Okay, what does this mean? It said SRMC is equal to AVC and is equal to 22. What does this information tell you? What does this information tell you? So you have the information on price is 20, quantity 60, right? And this is the additional information tell you. Why this information is important? 卢佑祥。Okay, the price is 20, and greater than what? Excuse me? So the loss will be greater than fixed cost, right? Because the price you get is only 20, right? And what is this? In Mandarin, 3 words. What does this tell you? 3 words in Mandarin. Wang Jiawei. does this tell you in Mandarin? 3 words. The last one is point. Excuse me? Right. Okay. So this is shutdown point. Okay. In English, it is shutdown point. SRMC equals ABC is the minimum of ABC, right? We have this kind of question in the midterm, right? This is the minimum of ABC, and that's the shutdown point. So the shutdown point, okay, the average variable cost at shutdown point is 22, right? And you can only get $20 for your product, right? And you pay each unit $22. So what should you do? You should exit the market. Okay? So question 13 is done. Okay, question 17. Turn to page 238. So suppose we have suppose the 100% biodegradable diaper. So 叶一方, what is biodegradable? Question 38. Sorry, page 238. Question 17. What is? Go ahead. Biodegradable. Okay. So, like this kind of plastic bottle, is it biodegradable? No, right? And so today, if you read newspaper, it says a lot of things about how to protect the environment, because there are just too many plastic products we use. And so, if you eat fish, any kind of animals in the sea, probably you're gonna also eat plastics. Okay, the microplastic. So it's bad. And so, Ivan, what's diaper? Okay, good. So, Wang Xiuhui, for this kind of product, for this kind of diaper, it's going to be more expensive or cheaper? More expensive, because you will need extra material to make it biodegradable. Okay. Okay, so this is a constant cost, perfectly competitive industry, and is currently in the long run equilibrium. Okay, so it's in equilibrium. Now suppose the government decides that 100% biodegradable diapers have positive social impacts. So the government offers subsidy. Okay, subsidy is the opposite of tax. Okay. So remember, last time we discussed 4 types of tax regime, right? The first one, no tax. The second one, tax on profit. The third one, tax on revenue, right? And the fourth one, subsidy, right? On the cost. Okay. So, question A. Explain in the short run impact of the subsidy in a biodegradable diaper industry and a typical biodegradable diaper producer. Explain your answer using graphs for both of a typical firm and the industry. So, Liu Yunxiang, if you're gonna draw a chart, how to draw it? What does it look like?
AC 跟点值都下降。
How? Okay, so let me draw a picture and ask you questions. Okay, so this is production level, right? And here is the cost. So does the chart look like this? Is the diagram looking like this? Yes or no? Are you sure? Okay. Chen Xisai, does it look like this? No. So then, what kind of diagram would that be? Go ahead. Come here. Here is your pen.
Okay.
Why not? 谢金佑. Does it look like this? No. So, how does it look like? How does it look like? 张志伟. No. I mean, this is the original one, right? We haven't put the subsidy in yet. Okay, the subsidy is not here yet. Okay. So, sorry. 郑义礼, how does it look like? Okay, the question here is said, suppose the 100% biodegradable diaper industry is a constant cost, perfectly competitive industry, right? Constant cost. What does constant cost tell you? It should be right. Because it says constant cost, so it should be something like this. Okay? The cost is constant. Okay? And subsidy, right? So per unit subsidy, so then it moves like this. Okay? Okay, let's move on. So question A say, explain the short run impact of the subsidy. So, I mean, this is for a firm. Okay, this is for a firm, but for a whole industry, it could be something like this. There's something extra. We haven't really got to it. Okay, so why? Sometimes we have very rigorous assumption. So we suppose if the industry is perfectly competitive, suppose, okay? What does that mean? That means information is free and everyone has it. So supposedly every firm has the same cost structure, okay? It could be the case, okay? If for a competitive firm, for a competitive industry, supposedly each firm has the same cost structure, okay? But sometimes we allow, okay, perfect competitive firms to have different cost structure, but quite similar. But anyway. So if we're going to analyze the market, this is for a firm, right? Okay. If we're going to analyze the market, it will be something like this. Okay, because you get subsidy, right? You get subsidy. So plus S, okay, subsidy. Okay. So then in the long run, the price is going to go down, right? And there's going to be more firms, and supposedly, you're going to have more people using biodegradable diapers. Of course, this will be great for the environment, okay? But what else? In this case, we're only talking about, the private part. Okay, for the private part. Because for consumers, so, there are two issues. Okay, so private cost, private benefit, and social cost, and social benefit. So in this case, this is the price consumers want to pay, right? But do they consider the social benefit? Because if the diapers are 100% biodegradable, that means social benefit is even more than the private benefit. Okay, so this is private. So in this case, if you're gonna use biodegradable diapers, the social benefit is higher than this one. Okay? So what does that mean? That means consumers, if they really care about, okay, if they really care about environment, they have to pay more, okay, because this one only consider private benefit, and suppose they want to consider social benefit, that means they have to contribute more. So it should be something like this, okay? So basically the question is, nothing is cheap. Suppose you want to do something good for the environment, and there's a cost and also there's benefit, then you have to consider about it. In this way, government can pay, okay, subsidize the producer to do more, okay, and that is good. But consumer, do they have to pay more? The answer is yes. So most of you ride scooters, right? So 谢金友, what is scooter? Excuse me? Okay? Not necessarily, but you know, anyway. So 谢金友, what's your scooter? Is electric or internal combustion engine? Or you use electricity or gasoline? Gasoline, right? So which one is better for the environment? Excuse me? Electric is better, right? Okay? But would you buy electric or gasoline engine? Because electric is much more expensive, right? Okay? So what would you do? So this year the government has a new policy. If you buy an electric scooter, okay, if you buy an electric scooter, you're gonna get carbon right. I'm not quite sure how the amount is something like $1,500, and I have no idea how it works. I have no idea, but supposedly this gives you subsidy, right? So you're gonna, because this one is expensive, even though it's good for just like this, right? If you have, this is your demand, right? You have a price to pay. You want to pay a higher price or lower price? A lower price, right? So then, if the government wants to encourage you to consider the social benefit, right? So what should government do? Give you something extra, right? So not only subsidize the producer, but also subsidize the consumer. Okay. Anyway, so question 8. Okay, we are done with that. So question B. Explain in the long run impact of the subsidy on the biodegradable diaper industry and a typical biodegradable diaper producer. Oh. So basically, we have done that. Okay, in the long run, okay, the market gonna have some interaction there. Okay. And part C, on your graph indicate cost of subsidy to the government in the long run. So suppose it is something like this, right? So you have Q, P, supply, demand. This is the market supply and market demand, right? And so you have here, okay? Suppose it's something like this, okay? So what is the price the government have to pay? So this is the extra unit sold in the market, right? This is the extra unit sold in the market. And here is per unit subsidy, right? So this is going to be the amount government have to pay, okay? But if it is a big sum, it's a big number, the government may not have that much money to support it. But in any case, it is better to internalize all these to consumer or producer. So for example, steel industry, right? Steel industry. What is steel? 陈希才, what is steel? Excuse me? Okay. So producing steel will have what kind of impact to the environment? Steel production. What would be the environmental impact for steel production? Pollution, right? So now the government say, there are two issues. First is pollution, right? The second one is they consume a lot of energy. So now the government require steel producer to have green power. Okay, green power. So, 谢谢你 what's green power? Excuse me? Right, exactly. So for example, you have wind power or solar power. So for example, TSMC, right? Governments, a lot of governments require producers to have some green power production. So because of that, TSMC had to install solar power generation. Okay. Okay. So basically, we have the last one, part D. So what would a subsidy cost the government more or less if biodegradable industry was an increasing cost industry? If the cost is increasing, right? If the cost is increasing, so there is an impact on the price. So because of that, the subsidy will be a little bit less, okay, rather than the constant cost case. Okay, question 18. Any question for question 17? Okay, question 18. Say downtown Philadelphia is famous for its soft pretzel stands. Okay, so 叶一方, what's pretzel? Excuse me? Right, a kind of cookie, okay? Or we call snacks. What is stand? Stand. No. Stand. What is stand? Right, okay, true. So just like in Taiwan, we have a lot of food stand. Okay, food stand. Sometimes it is drinks, sometimes it is, I'm not quite sure what's that in Mandarin. Anyway, we have a lot of that. Okay. So there are hundreds of such stands located on street corners. So suppose the Philadelphia soft pretzel retail market is a perfectly competitive constant cost. Okay, again, constant cost. If the manufacturer of Philadelphia soft pretzels, the wholesalers increase the price of pretzels from $1.2 a dozen to $1.6 a dozen, using graphs to answer the following question. Okay, so A, how will this input price increase affect the cost curves of a typical soft pretzel stand owner in the short run? So, 卢佑想, what will be the impact? The wholesalers increase the price. Okay, so if you are the retailer, what will be your impact? Question 17 is a subsidy, right? Okay, subsidy lower down your cost. And here, what's that? It is a cost increase, so you're going to go up, right? Okay, B, what will happen in the stand owner's price, output, and profit in the short run? So output in the short run will decrease, okay? And profit, of course, is going to go down, okay? And then it depends on how much is the impact. If the impact is really great, it's going to be, some food stamp is going to drop out of the market, exit the market, okay? Question C, what happens to both consumer and producer surplus in the short run? So producer surplus will go down, consumer surplus will also go down. Okay, what happened in the long run? If the cost structure remains the same, and because of that, profit going to go down. We know that. assuming that before the price increase, okay, the economic profit is zero, right, for all the producers. And now, because of the price increase, of course, the profit gonna go down. So meaning that they're gonna have a loss, okay. And so if there's a loss, some people, some food stamp gonna drop out, okay. Okay, so we are done with question 18. So question 19. But question 19 gonna take a little more time, and we need someone to help us. So let us stop here. Take a break.